Today, we bring together thought leaders that work across a broad range of industries and who are at the forefront of emerging technologies, whether this be AI, cybersecurity, data, big data, and analytics. And I'm going to ask each panelist to introduce themselves and then share some of the key insights and learnings that we can harness in order to really embrace this digital transformation journey. I will then close off and allow for a question and answer session in the remaining time. So let's kick off.
Thank you, Anna. So my name is Jean-Yves Kitantous. I'm from Le Tech Space. We are a training center and digital transformation center based in Brussels. And we train companies and individuals in around cybersecurity, cloud computing, and project management. And we do a little bit of consulting, basically based on mainly based on everything linked to compliance. I'm not going to be long, but I just want to say that for me, the key things that the key point that we see for us is the importance of the people when we talk about technology. There is no, for me, and especially in cybersecurity, is that cybersecurity is not only a tool. Cybersecurity is also and mainly about the people in your organization and the people in your city. If you talk about smart cities, what I mean by that is that most of the people the companies that we work with, almost they say that almost 50% of the risk that they have is the most of the time are based on someone's mistake. So, which means that we need to increase the level of cyber awareness in companies, and we also need to tackle the problem of the lack of talent in the world, because it's been said that the cybersecurity space needs by the next 5 years around the world they need 4 million of people to be able to enter in the cybersecurity world. So that's the need. So it's a huge opportunities, and I think for a country like South Africa, it's also something that you may be focused on. So yes, I'm not going to be long because I can talk a lot. So yeah,
thank you, Jean-Yves. Lydia, over to you.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Lydia Ngengebu. I am South African, based in Johannesburg, and I'm an industry segment director at Microsoft South Africa. And what my team and I do really is we are working with customers to help them realize their aspirations around digital transformation, and also helping them to drive their bottom line. And I cannot trump the keynote speaker when he talks about the importance of digital transformation. Digital transformation is no longer a choice. It is actually a necessity for organizations to remain relevant, drive the bottom line, and remain competitive. But transformation without a digital ecosystem thinking is very short-lived. And through experience, at Microsoft, we believe that it is important to enable ecosystems that are secure, that are inclusive, and that are future ready. And I was going to make a joke about the latest investment, because key to Microsoft also is the investment that we make not just in South Africa, but on the African continent. And recently, I think it was in early March, we had our vice chairman of Microsoft Corporation, who was here to announce a 5.4 billion rand investment in our data centers, cloud computing, and AI infrastructure. And I think it was really brave of him to come at that time in March with the storm that was happening with the US and South Africa. But that also just shows the commitment of Microsoft to South Africa and the continent. And whilst I'm from Microsoft, I also want to acknowledge that our competitors are also making these strategic investments in the country. Top lessons learned, from a Microsoft perspective is that co-creation is key. working alongside government and enterprises and industry, and not just delivering tech. That is very important, because your driving business value underpinned by tech is important. Trust and compliance. I think Jean and also the keynote speaker talked about trust and compliance, which includes data governance, cybersecurity, and regulatory alignment is actually foundational. And skills before tools. Your infrastructure is only as powerful as the people that use it, and therefore the focus on skilling. Microsoft has committed to skilling 50,000 youth, and 1 million of those will be done by 2026. And I think just in closing, I want to say that digital ecosystems thrive when technology, people, and policy align. Thank you.
Beautifully said. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Daniel Soto from TIMI. TIMI is a company from Belgium that specializes in very big data processing and data streaming automation. So we have a philosophy that's a bit different from most of the other, in the sense that we try to reduce at the maximum the infrastructure needed to process vast amount of information and empower users to use, to ask very simple questions without requiring code directly on the data. So my personal background is I've been working in data since '99. So in terms of a data scientist, I'm kind of a dinosaur. And within the company, I was actually the first follower joining the lone nuts that was working on building this crazy software. And I've been around now for 12 years in the company and still enjoying it very much. I think one of the key findings I observed over the years is that in 2012, Alexander Lindell of Gartner coined the term citizen data scientist. And his bet was that in the future, data science will no longer remain in the ivory tower of the scientist and the statistician and become kind of a commodity. And today we're really seeing it. And if organizations want their employees, their people to restart harvesting on data and asking a lot of questions, we have to make sure that they have the right tools and they are not limited in any way to ask questions. The worst thing you can do is start putting a cost on a question, because I've never had a good idea before I had 10 bad ones. Don't expect people to start having brilliant ideas immediately. The people who ask a lot of questions are mostly the most profitable people in the long term. And I think this is the most important lessons I've seen around. When you cut people's wings, they stop trying to fly. And that's really important to keep in mind.
Thanks, Daniel. Good evening, everyone. Nhlanhla Khatebe. I'm the Vice President of Data. Hello? Okay. At Massmart, fully owned by Walmart. My 24-year journey has been about turning data into a competitive advantage. I've been driving data commercialization through digital innovation. I have experience I've worked for the big 5 banks, including retail as well as the contracting sectors. My key insights for today that I would like to share with you. Let me give you some facts first. If you look at Google in the last financial year, I think they generated over $240 billion in advertising monetization, leveraging users' data. If you look at Meta, which is Facebook, they generated over $130 billion dollars from data-driven revenue. And if you look at the likes of Experian, it was just over $5 billion from their data capability. If you look at Walmart, using Luminate, it's just over $1 billion, and Walmart Connect, just over $3.4 billion. Why am I telling you all this? I'm giving you these numbers to give you 3 insights. The first insight is data monetization, commonly known as data commercialization. It has become key for companies. Companies are looking for additional growth, and data monetization or data commercialization is actually an opportunity to be leveraged by most companies. So in one of the retail companies I've worked for, We created a data monetization platform, and the benefit of that is that that platform gets to be leveraged by suppliers to look at their performance metrics in business. And that generated huge benefit because it strengthens the relationship between our suppliers and our business, and it generated a sustainable, scalable revenue growth, and it keeps increasing every year. The second opportunity that I'm spotting is actually the use of predictive analytics to delight customers. If you look at what's happening in South Africa and across the world, the companies are using their data intelligently. And in order to accomplish that, companies need to understand what's happening, what happened, what is happening, and what we should be doing. And in order to get there, in one of the banks I've worked for, as well as one of the retailers that I've worked for, we develop models, train those models using the past data and deploy those models. And it empowered the businesses to be able to predict the best next action for their customers. What are the benefits? The business tends to communicate intelligently with their clients. They understand exactly what their clients they're looking for, so they reach out to their clients about the right product at the right time and at the right price. And what are the benefits? There's various benefits. It creates customer stickiness. You retain your customers, you attract new customers, and it actually grows your top line and your bottom line. The third and final insights that I want to share with you, I think data democratization and self-service is quite key. Gone are the days that data gets only to be leveraged by the tech-savvy people in business. We need to democratize the data in order to fast-track the business transformation. If business has access to data, they become data-driven, and gone are the days that decision gets made by hunches. Any product development, any sales strategy needs to be underpinned by data, and that is important. So in conclusion, technology alone and data alone, it's not complete. There's three ingredients to be successful in a business. You need data, you need technology, and the right people, the right seats. Thank you.